On Wink News at 4.
A string of attacks on officers sweeps the U.S. and Southwest Florida. The latest here sending shockwaves through Sanibel. Wink News has new details about the first officer-involved shooting in the island's history. You can see a bullet hole in a police car window here where an officer was shot last night while writing a traffic ticket.
Officer Jared Saccone's okay, and the suspect, John Hay, is in jail. Wink News has complete team coverage live from Sanibel. Reporter Nicole Valdez is digging into the suspect's past. But first, let's go to Wink News anchor Britni McDonald, who talked to some stunned neighbors.
Well, at this hour, the island is back to its calm and quiet nature that neighbors described to me. However, just within the last hour, investigators did go into the home behind me. But it's hard for many neighbors to believe that just last night this was a crime scene. Many of them not even able to get back into their homes for a couple of hours.
It's a little scary, yeah. It was in my neighborhood. My dad is home. He's elderly, and I was fearing for his safety, And
Stephen Chance was one of many people on Sanibel who couldn't get home Sunday night. Sanibel police had the island on lockdown and the causeway closed. Investigators say John Hay drove by an officer and shot into his vehicle as he wrote up a ticket during a routine traffic stop on Periwinkle Way.
I've lived on this island my whole life, and I've never seen this many police in one spot.
Wink News exclusive video shows that vehicle being towed away with glass shattered where the bullets hit. The officer, Jared Saccone, taken to Lee Memorial and released. Police say Hay drove into the Dunes neighborhood where he lived with his parents on Sandcastle Road. That started a standoff with police that ended in a shootout. Hay was hit and eventually captured and taken away in an ambulance. Monday, neighbors who saw helicopters flying overhead and heard the gunshots are coming to terms with the whole ordeal.
This happened in Maryland frequently, and you move away from there to come here, and it's scary.
Unfortunately, we hear a lot of more and more these sort of incidents seem to be happening. Maybe it's just because we get all the news nowadays. It doesn't make one feel comfortable.
It was surprising to hear just how many people weren't actually surprised by this, saying that this is happening more and more in our world. Now, there was one woman we spoke to who was actually in the line of fire with bullets flying through her own home. Stay tuned to Wink News at 5 for that interview. But for now, I'm live in Sanibel. Britni McDonald, Wink News Now.
Britni, thank you. Wink News also has breaking new information about the Sanibel suspect. We've been digging into John Hay's past all day, and it turns out he's no stranger to the island's police department. Wink News reporter Nicole Valdez joins us live with the details. Nicole?
That's right. We saw investigators come back to this home today surveying the damage in the area where John Hay, the man arrested for shooting that officer last night, and his parents live. Now, we're told they lived here for some time and not many knew who he was, but those that do say it wasn't for a good reason.
I think it's crazy. I mean, I don't know why nobody reported him before, what nobody followed up, or why anything wasn't done if this guy was such a threat.
As news spreads among the island, the name John Hay rings a bell to some.
It was a little concerning.
Laura Richardson, one of the managers at the Jacaranda restaurant, says just 2 months ago, Hay stalked one of their employees.
I'm not really sure why or how, nobody really knows, but he was making threats.
Jacaranda's general manager tells Wink News they eventually called Sanibel police, and they found 2 loaded weapons in his car. Photos sent to Wink News by co-workers show his encounter with officers that day. This and last night's incident just one of many encounters Hay has had with police. According to the news press, Sanibel police say Hay had been the subject of 15 responses by city police since July of 2006. Many of those calls made by Hay himself. Some including concerns about his ex-wife's plans to steal from him, noise complaints, and credit card fraud.
You just never know.
Managers at the Jacaranda restaurant tell me they did issue a trespass order after that initial incident and hadn't seen him since. But today we did see homeowners leave this area and that home behind us. They did tell us they have no comment regarding this incident. For now, we're live on Sanibel. I'm Nicole Valdez. Wink News Now.
All right, thank you, Nicole. And we have some new information. In just the last 25 minutes, a fund has been set up for Officer Saccone. The city of Sanibel just sent us a press release saying that anyone wishing to help the Saccone family can donate to the Fish organization. That group's goal is to lend a helping hand to anyone on Sanibel.